What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video part today. I am so excited to upload this one for you guys because for this video we're going to be taking a look at the most brutally accurate film I have ever seen in my entire life, Apacolypto. So this is a movie that I've been very cautious about because when it comes to violence and gore, I'm pretty squeamish and I've been known to pass out a couple of times. So when it came to watching this movie, I was very excited, but also at the same time, very nervous because the last thing I want is to wake up on the floor. But given recent years, after watching movies like The Northman and TV shows like Primal, I feel like I've grown accustomed to super violent scenes, and after watching a movie like Prey, while I did enjoy that movie, I think it would have been just a bit better if the dialogue was spoken in the native language. And that's how I feel about most movies, because while it does help to have English audio, I think wherever the story is set, they should just use the native language. And after I told this to someone, they said to me, if you love authenticity, you're gonna love Apacolypto, and here we are. So this movie came out back in 2006 and was directed by Mel Gibson, who I was told that when it comes to making movies, he wants them to be as accurate as possible. So that checked off a box on my list. And what I love about this movie is its simplicity and savagery because, oh my God, I don't think I've ever seen a movie this brutal before. Speaking of which, the movie's set in Mexico during the Mayan rule, and from the get-go, you get a sense of what life is like for the indigenous people of Mesoamerica, as it's pretty much hunt, eat, sleep, survive, which really piqued my interest because after watching a show like Primal, I was very interested in seeing a story play out with real actors in a real jungle and speaking the native language. And from the get-go, we follow Jaguar Pa, who was the son of a chief, a husband, a father to a wife and son, and everything seems to be going well until one day their village is attacked by Mayan raiders, and oh my God, look at the main antagonist, Zero Wolf, which by the way is the most badass name you could get. Looking at this dude who has jawbones all over his body, it just screams that this guy is a cold-blooded predator. So after the village practically burns to the ground, Jaguar Pa is then enslaved by these raiders, but not before he was able to hide his pregnant wife and son in a safe place before we are then taken to the Mayan world. And I love how this movie gives you a glimpse of what Mayan civilization could have looked like, and oh my God, I am an ungrateful person because I live in a world where I can get up every morning, go on a nice walk, wave hi, say good morning to my neighbors, and then enjoy the rest of my day. But I gotta tell you, after watching this film, I would not last 2 minutes in this world because based on how Mayan civilization was built, you were either the conquerors or the conquered. And after seeing what life was like for these slaves, holy crap, it is an ugly world for them. Because if you weren't working on the crops that are practically dying, or if you weren't working on the mines and coughing up blood and dust, guess what? You're gonna be the one that's gonna get sacrificed. And what makes this world so brutal is that this is what these people live for, because while there's one poor slave getting his heart ripped out, there's a crowd of people at the end of the temple that are cheering like it's a Taylor Swift concert. Oh yeah, and after you get your heart ripped out, the last thing you're gonna see is someone holding it in front of your face before someone chops off your head and throws it into the crowd before kicking your body down the temple. No. You couldn't pay me to live in this world. What the actual hell? Oh my God, never before have I seen a movie this brutal. And I think the reason why I feel this way is because most of the effects were done practically, which is something I admire Mel Gibson as a director, because even though CGI would have helped in some cases, it just comes to a point where it just hinders the storytelling experience. And I think by doing everything practically, like from the jungle village to the Mayan city, it just gives you a good look at what kind of world the Mayans lived in. And I love how this movie is broken down into 3 distinguishable acts, where Act 1, you are introduced to Jaguar Pa's world, which is essentially the jungle. Act 2, you are then introduced to Zero Wolf's world and shown just how brutal the Mayans really were. And Act 3 is basically a blending of these 2 worlds that are coming into conflict with one another. So overall, I really enjoyed this film because by using practical effects and real sets that people can walk onto, it gives you a nice look at what life was like for these people. And also by using Mayan dialogue rather than English, it forces the viewer to pay close attention to this simple yet very straightforward story that is unfolding in front of them. So if you're looking for something to watch tonight that is different but also very violent, you should probably check out this movie. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. That was my overall review on Apacolypto. If you like what you saw, hit the subscribe button so you guys updates from this channel. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.